Hey everyone, I'm Eden and I am non binary, and I think we're all here to share a little bit about what it means for us to be non binary and to be part of the community. And personally, I have found that so many other queer and gender non-conforming folks in the TTRPG community, and it made it a lot easier for me to come back to the hobby. I took a 10 plus years hiatus from many TTRPGs, um, and finding so many people that were similar and even through different experiences really helped me step back into the TTRPG space. It might take some time at first, but it's easier than ever, in my opinion at least, to find like-minded people that we can feel safe playing with. And I believe that was absolutely crucial to me. And I will make a little plug because I will never stop thanking my best friend Zeno, who is also non-binary, and they are the reason why I go back into D&D. Because after watching it for many years and staying away from it, they invited me to play with their in their D&D group that I've been playing with for a long time, and we've now been playing it together for more than a year and a half. And it's the best feeling when you sit at the table knowing that you're welcome and loved and safe and listened to, both in and out of character. And I just wish the same experience to all my non-binary and queer fellow players around the world. So yeah, happy Pride Month, and I hope you're all loved and safe. And yeah, see you on playing time. Bye.
Oh, wow. So, what non binary means to me is a place where I feel like home. It's a space that just kind of holds me as a being rather than how I present, how I look, how I behave, how I sound. And aside from any very obvious, visible, or even auditory identifiers that I have, it's it's just a space of being, just a space of existing. I don't have to worry so much about putting myself somewhere because my entire existence is a spectrum in all shapes, way, and forms. And being non-binary to me, it is probably one of the most comforting experiences for a while, for a long time. I wasn't sure and I questioned, and then it just kind of clicked for me. And the community that comes with it. I've always been involved with the queer community here in Ireland, especially closer to the Dublin area throughout college and things like that, different groups. And as I've grown, my understanding of what community means has grown as well. And it's always really good to meet other non-binary people because no one is ever the same. Just like anybody is never exactly the same as somebody else. And I'm just happy to be able to do something like this and represent for queer, non-binary, black people of color. And yeah, it's a good place to be. It can be hard getting there, but once you are there, it's it can be a wonderful experience as long as you have the right community around you, whether that's your family, well, that is in your birth family or your found family. And I have to say, I'm very proud to have the family that I have because without them, I don't think I would have been able to be as comfortable as myself. But yeah, so that's kind of what non binary means to me. It's just means me being me.
Being non-binary to me is an expression of limitlessness. I think that throughout life we are categorized and put into boxes, and some are involuntary, uh, race, nationality, religious affiliation, etc., etc. A lot of those you are born into. Others people will put you into. And the boxes don't always have to be bad. Sometimes the boxes are those of relationships that you have with people. You'll be put into the friend box or the colleague, the coworker, the family member, the found family member, friend. Um, and then other boxes you put yourself in. When I introduce myself, I put myself in the cosplayer box. I put myself in the TTRPG content creator box. I put myself into boxes all the time when I talk to different people. It feels reassuring and freeing to me to have things in my life that I don't put in boxes. My gender being one of them. I present the way I present. You want to perceive me as a guy? Sure. You want to perceive me as something else? Hey, have at it. There are things that I feel there is comfort in letting the bounds of the boundaries that I set for myself breathe. And gender as an expression of innate limitlessness is something that I hold very dear.
I decided to go to Euphoria and ask for an all non binary table because being in the tabletop RPG community, in the actual play community, felt a lot of joy. I felt a lot of belonging, being especially with Euphoria, as they put a lot of spotlight onto queer and BIPOC performers in Europe. It felt really good to have people around me that I felt a connection to. And after being part of this community for a while, I also realized that as someone who presents femme and enjoys being femme and enjoy presenting the way I do, I noticed that a lot of times spaces where either trans, queer, or they were a certain binary, like I was asked to join games that are directed towards like the like female performers and women, and I am still very flattered as very happy that I've been considered for those spots at the table, and I really enjoyed being part of this as well, because I do, as again, I do present femme, and there is definitely a big part of me that feels a lot of overlapping and a big connection to the experience of womanhood. But at the same time, there's this part of me that is non-binary, and for me that means we do have our own space as well, and we are our own people, and that doesn't mean that we are female plus or light or whatever adjacent, or we are, yes, we belong under the trans umbrella, but a lot of non-binary people do not go through the same experiences as trans people, and a lot of us also do not go through transition. And I oftentimes felt that it wasn't quite right to take up that space, while I personally believe that it still is important to show that non-binarity is still a valid existence, and that we are there, and that non-binarity does not fit into the mold of you have to do this or that to be non-binary enough. You have to be the word you don't have to present a certain way to be non-binary. And it took a lot of time to be okay with the fact that I do like to look girly, but I'm not a girl, but I'm not a man either, and that is okay. And I hope that everyone who feels that maybe they are non-binary, or they feel they want to take this identity for themselves, that they do not have to change how they present physically if they don't want to. And I wanted to show with this table that non-binarity can look very different, and non-binarity doesn't have to be short male hair and a body that doesn't fit into any kind of gender. It's okay if you have big boobs and still non-binary, and it's okay if you don't have boobs and you're still non-binary, and or have a beard. It's fine, because at the end of the day, non-binary is what you define it as for yourself. And if that means you are mostly identifying with a certain gender, but not always, then that's more than enough.